What is going on, everyone? My name is the California Cougar, and welcome back to another video. And today, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about the San Francisco Giants today. So today is June 2nd, 2021. We are about 1/3 of the way through the Major League Baseball season, and the Giants so far have been very impressive. They have put up an impressive 34-21 record through 55 games in the season. 34-21. Before the first game in June, which was yesterday, they were 34-20, which is the best record that they've had in the months of April and May since 2014, when they put up a 37-20 record through the first 2 months of the season. So, yeah, the Giants, they look pretty legit. I mean, they just won a series against the Dodgers on the road, 3-1. So they just made a statement after getting totally embarrassed by the Dodgers in their own stadium, like literally the week prior to that. But they came back and they made a statement on that road series. They won 2 games against the Diamondbacks, sweeping them, and then they won 3 out of 4 against the Dodgers. And then they came home and they went 1-1 against the Angels. We'll talk more about the loss to the Angels in a little bit. But the reason why I'm making this video today is the Giants have a history of bad play in the month of June. They have a pretty bad history of that, including earlier in the decade, especially 2013 and even 2014, which is a year they won the World Series, ironically enough. But, yeah, that's what I'm here to talk about today. The dreaded June swoon, as many fans like to call it. Basically a month or where they just play bad baseball, and it usually occurs in the month of June. Again, the Giants have a history of that. In fact, the only month that the Giants, since coming to San Francisco, that the Giants have an overall record below 500 in, the only month that they have that is the month of June. Now, they've played well in the month of June in years prior. Look at 2016. They had a great record in the month of June. But, of course, they also have their history of swoons. So, yeah, I'm talking about why the Giants need to avoid that this year. And honestly, I'm nervous that they might run into it this year. I don't know. I've looked at their schedule. We'll talk about their schedule in a little bit, but they need to avoid the June swoon this year. They really do. If they want to have any shot of making the playoffs, they need to avoid that June swoon. So, yeah, why do they need to avoid it? Well, let's just say their schedule's not exactly going to be favorable for the rest of the year. I mean, you look at their schedule after the month of June. D-backs, Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to be a tough team to beat. Nationals. I mean, some of these teams have below 500 records. But then you look at the second half of the season, and you got Cardinals, Dodgers, Pirates, Dodgers, Astros. Those are the first 5 series after the All-Star break. Only one of those teams is not a playoff team right now. And then after that, you got a couple series against the D-backs. You got the Rockies a couple times. You got the Mets a couple times. The Mets are a team that could be really good this year. You got Milwaukee, Oakland, Atlanta, Milwaukee again, Dodgers, Cubs, Padres. Like, their schedule gets really tough in the second half of the season. A lot of games against the Padres down the road. A couple games against the Braves, Dodgers, of course. I already kind of got into that. Milwaukee, the Mets, the A's. Yeah, really, other than the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, I don't think they face a single team that's below 500. Well, actually, that one series against the Pirates that I just talked about. But yeah, other than that, and then the Rockies and Diamondbacks, they don't have a single series against a team that is not a potential playoff team. Atlanta might be playing bad right now, but down the road, I would expect them to fully be contenders. Same with Milwaukee. Same with the Mets. Like, A lot of dangerous teams on here. So, yeah, this is why the Giants need to avoid the June swoon. I mean, you look at their schedule in June, right? This is probably the last month where they have a very winnable schedule. You've got the Cubs, which is the one team that I would be concerned about right now. That's their next series. You also have the Rangers, the Nationals, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, Angels, A's, and Dodgers. Really, other than the A's, Dodgers, and Cubs, which adds up to 9 games total between those 3 clubs, other than those 3, every team that they face is below 500 right now. The Phillies might be above 500 by the time we get to them, but right now, every team that we're facing is below 500 other than those 3 teams. So, yeah, we need to take advantage of that this year. We cannot have a swoon. We need to take full advantage of those series against those teams below 500, and even after the month of June, in the beginning of July, leading up to the All-Star break, we have the Diamondbacks, Cardinals, and Nationals. 2 of those 3 series are against teams below 500. So, yeah, this is why we need to avoid the June swoon. Now, again, the Giants have a bad history of June swoons. You look at years like 2013, where they had a 29-25 record, I think, going into the month of June. They came out of it with a record of 39-42. Not good. That's a 10-17 record in the month of June. Not good. 2014, they went into June with a 37-20 record. And they came out of it with I believe it was 46-36. It was either that or 47-36. Either way, another bad month of June for the Giants. In fact, they went from being arguably the best team in baseball at that point to second place in the division. The Dodgers overtook them in the division by the end of the month. So, yeah, that's something to be concerned about. 2015 was another not so great, better but not great. They went 12-14 in the month of June in 2015. So, and they ended up missing the playoffs that year. Now, 2014, they did manage to recover and barely scrape out a wild card spot. They then went on to win the World Series by playing some great baseball in the month of October. But before that, there was a lot of concern that the Giants were going to miss the playoffs. So yeah, with a 34-21 record right now, they definitely need to make a statement in the month of June. And they definitely can. Their offense has been getting better lately, especially on the road. They've been playing a lot better on the road. They won their last 4 road series, I believe. Well, actually, they split one of them, but that was honestly a fluke, I think, because the bullpen still sucks, but that's for a different video where they need to fix their damn bullpen. But yeah, since then, they swept Cincinnati on the road, and then they swept the Diamondbacks on the road, and then they won 3 out of 4 against the Dodgers. So, yeah, and split 2-2 against the Pirates. So they've been playing much better on the road lately. What does that add to? Obviously 6-2 in that 8-game series, and then they went 5-1. So that's 11-3 on the road in their last 4 road series. That's a pretty strong record, I would say. 11-3 on the road. That's really good, with 2 of those losses being in that first series against the Pirates. So they've played a lot better on the road, which is fantastic. At home, though, they've lost their last 4 of 5 at home, including 3 to the Dodgers. A little bit concerning considering our next series is at home, so hopefully the Giants can recover and put up a good home series against the Cubs. However, one thing I am concerned about is their last game against the Angels last night, where they lost 8-1. Keep in mind, the Angels did not have Mike Trout. He's on the injured list right now. And they also played in a National League stadium, so they did not have Shohei Ohtani available in the batting order. So, yeah, Shohei Ohtani, arguably the AL MVP right now. I mean, the dude's been pitching lights out pretty much. Yeah, he didn't pitch either in this series, so that's another thing. So, without their 2 best hitters and 2 best players overall, the Angels crushed us 8-1. And we put up Alex Wood, who's one of our best pitchers. So, Yeah, little concerned about that. Doesn't help that our bullpen still sucks. I mean, really, four of the runs that Alex Wood gave up, or four of the runs that we gave up, were on Matt Whistler, I will say. The guy has been a scrub ever since he came to the Giants. So, yeah, like, Wood got tagged for 7 runs, but 3 of them were because of Matt Whistler, I would say. But still, pretty concerning when you're up against an Angels team that doesn't have their 2 best players. So yeah, little concerning coming into the month of June, especially given they finished May very strong, taking 3 of 4 from the Dodgers and then winning 6-1 in the first game against the Angels. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they can come back in the month of June. They need to make the month of June count because after the All-Star break, there's really not a lot of room for error. They've got a bunch of games against the Padres, a bunch against the Dodgers, a bunch against teams that are above 500 or could be above 500 by the time they get to them, like the Mets and the Braves. So, and of course the Oakland A's, their crosstown rivals, the Astros, they have a series against them. So, yeah, definitely a lot of concern to be had with the Giants right now. I think they can do it, though. I think they're going to pull through. At least I hope they do, because, I mean, the last time the Giants entered June with this good of a record, they made the playoffs, even if it was only the second wild card spot. And the other thing is, we want the Giants to win the division this year. We really want them to win the division. Like, yeah, wild card spot is good. They still have a chance to get into the playoffs with 1 game, but we also had Madison Bumgarner back when we were in those wild card games. We don't have Madison Bumgarner anymore. Kevin Gausman is great, but he's no Madison Bumgarner. I don't know how well he's going to perform in the playoffs, especially since if we do get a wild card spot, it's likely going to be against either the Padres or the Dodgers. And chances are it will be on the road. So, yeah, like, that's another concern that I do have. Like, how good, like, can we beat the Padres or the Dodgers on the road with Kevin Gausman starting? So far, things are looking up. I mean, Kevin Gausman did really well against the Padres on the road earlier this year, and he also did really well against the Dodgers on the road. So, Kevin Gausman, he's been reliable, but can he keep that? Especially with all our players going on the injured list, it seems like. All our players are dropping like flies. Longoria got injured the other day. Mike Yastrzemski got injured yesterday, going for a play off the wall. Kevin Gausman exited the game early against the Dodgers earlier this week. So, I don't know how many of them are going to go on the injured list, but that's something to be concerned about as well. So, yeah, hopefully the Giants can avoid the June swoon because they're definitely going to need to. They don't have a whole lot of series against teams that are below 500, other than the Rockies and the D-backs. Like, they don't really have any other series against teams below 500 aside from maybe the Pirates. Maybe the Braves if they continue to struggle, but I doubt they will. That team is just too stacked to continue, even without Marcell Ozuna. Like, I just hope the Giants can pull through. So, yeah, that's my video about the Giants and why they need to avoid the June swoon this year in order to have a shot at the playoffs. I mean, they avoided it in 2016, but even then, their second half was so bad, they still barely made the playoffs. So, yeah, hopefully the Giants can avoid the June swoon. But what are your thoughts on the Giants this year? What are your thoughts on them potentially entering a June swoon? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think a June swoon is going to happen? Do you think they're going to pull through and potentially enter the All-Star break with a very good record and a potential to make the playoffs? Again, let me know down below what you think of the Giants season so far. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos to come in the future. And until that next video, which will probably be some Survivor-related content. Not really sure what yet, but you can probably expect that next week. But until that next video, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember, stay California cool. Peace.